la, gonna be this way. Clap, 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 clap.
Okay, that's the only one I know.
Yes,
I haven't heard that song in such a long time. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm good, Joey. How you doing?
Hey, so if any of this looks familiar to you, perhaps the black and white colors, the colorful umbrellas,
Absolutely. It is exactly like the opening scene of Friends. Oh my God, this legendary sitcom. And today we are celebrating the premiere of that famous television sitcom.
Indeed. Friends was created by David Crane and Marta Kaufman. It premiered on NBC on September the 22nd in 1994, so exactly 28 years today. Wow. And it aired all the way through until May the 6th, 2004, so lasting 10 very memorable seasons. With an ensemble cast starring Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and David Schwimmer, the show revolves around 6 very good friends who were in their 20s and 30s that lived in Manhattan, New York City.
Very lucky, one of my favorite cities in the world. The filming, in fact, not in New York. It took place at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, California, in front of a live audience each time. The series finale was watched by around 52.5 million American viewers. It became the 5th most watched series finale in television history and the most watched television episode of the 2000s, indeed. Throughout its run, Friends became one of the most popular television shows of all time. Completely agree with that. After a few seasons, it ultimately reached the #1 spot in the ratings. Friends is the last sitcom to reach the #1 spot on television in America. The cast members returned for a reunion special aired on HBO Max on May 27th, 2021.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I remember some of those scenes exactly.
No.
She didn't hang up either. So, in celebrating the anniversary of Friends' premiere, this morning we're joined by somebody who we're quite familiar with, but we did not know who actually attended a Friends live taping. And we obviously want to know what that experience was like. So we've decided to bring in front of the camera Mas Budi Iskandar, a very big fan of Friends. Good morning, Mas Budi.
Good morning.
Well, we're
Could
used
I
to
be
see
any luckier?
I
like that. Nice. I see what you did there.
I know, right? So how did you end up? Tell us. When did this happen? When you actually watched Friends, Rachel, Ross, Phoebe, and the gang performed? When was that?
It was a long time ago. It was like 20-something years ago.
Yes, 20-something years ago.
And I was lucky enough, I was studying in Los Angeles. And at that time, anyone can watch the taping, the live taping of any sitcoms or any TV shows, like talk shows, like Jay Leno and stuff like that.
Yes.
But since Friends was very popular, so basically we had to apply, and it was chosen randomly. So we
Randomly?
we cannot say we cannot choose like we want an October one or a November one.
Oh, so you just put your name on the list?
Yeah, just put the name on the list, and they put you. They pick you randomly, and I got picked like either in the winter or like December or January.
Right. Which episode did you watch live?
I watched the episode with Reese Witherspoon in it.
Oh,
the
the
sister.
sister.
One
Yes.
with the
The
Rachel
other
sister.
sister.
Yes, Rachel's sister.
Oh my goodness! You actually saw Reese Witherspoon.
Yep,
as
yeah.
well.
So I was lucky, and I saw the whole cast of Friends, and the guest star was Reese.
What was the process like? Because I often wonder, Paul.
Well, you know,
like having a live audience. Like, is there a cut? Is that like a theater?
well, here's the thing, because we should actually remind audiences, our younger audiences, that this is not really done anymore. If you watch like
Is it not done
situation
anymore?
comedies these days, they're more like the handheld, like Modern Family. You don't really have it. It's not done
No, you
in a
don't have an
studio.
audience.
It's done actually in a house or wherever the setting is. So this sort of sitcom like Seinfeld or Friends, this is a very classic type of sitcom.
Yes,
That
the
isn't done
nanny.
anymore. It was actually done there. So could you take us through, like, when they brought you in, was there a briefing? Because obviously you had to sit in a certain area.
Yeah.
And because the laughter was real. You would have, like, it would be actual audience.
My laughter was in the episode. So
Oh, you heard it? Were you really loud?
So I was like, no, I was like, yes, my laughter was in there. So,
Oh, right.
Wow, that's
okay.
amazing.
So take us through it.
so the setting is kind of like a the audience sat in a bleacher,
Okay.
like in a badminton stadium or like
Yeah.
basketball, and it was like theater. So in front of us we had Monica's apartment,
Yes.
and on the left side is Joey's apartment. Central Perk slightly on the right.
Oh, everything was all.
Yeah, everything was there. So
Wow.
basically, it just when they cut the scene, they just move to another setting. Move to another setting, and there are a lot of like stop and
Stop and start.
And the funny thing is like there are a lot of rewriting on the spot.
Oh.
By the
of-
actors?
by the actor, by the producer, by the writers, because you cannot be not funny,
Yes.
and you cannot be too funny.
Oh, well,
Oh.
wait, that's weird.
When a scene is too funny,
Yeah.
the audience laugh a long time.
Too much.
Yeah, and the scene cannot be moved. So,
Right.
and then the producer said like, can the audience laugh a little less, so the scene can move. You know?
Right.
So when it's not funny,
Yeah.
see, I mean, it's like a theater. You get the energy, you get the feedback from the
Right.
audience right away, right?
Yes.
So
It's like
when it's
silence.
not funny,
Yeah.
there was like,
You could feel it.
yeah, you could feel it. There's a tension, and they're like, we
Uh-oh.
gotta be funny here, you know.
So they got to improv sometimes as well.
First, they can improv,
Yeah?
or they do rewrite on the spot.
So
So
how
they're
long does
they're
it
like
take
huddled, and
They'll
it's
do
like a
Right in front
and
of the
then-
audience.
Yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
So how long does it take then? So they would film an episode in one day.
The whole episode, the whole taping of the episode is probably done about 4 to 6 hours. That's a long time.
Okay.
So you were there for 4 to 6 hours.
Yes, but sometimes people have to go. They go, and somebody else come in,
Right.
like on a queue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There, for the audience, they had an audience warmer.
What's
Right.
that?
So you
it's like a-
warm up the audience.
Yeah,
first.
warm
You
up
make
the
up-
audience,
you
like
tell a few
a
jokes.
comedy.
Oh,
They
right.
they like give quizzes, and people have to answer. They give away like T-shirts or mugs or something like that.
Oh, nice.
And because it's too long, they give us pizzas.
Oh, nice.
wow.
Keep you guys happy. So you guys
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
get
yeah.
grumpy.
Keep the
Yeah.
audience happy.
I heard this with talk shows as well, like even for Jay Leno.
yes,
like
yes.
before he comes out, they'll have somebody come up and warm up the crowd first.
Yep.
So
Right.
you don't have this cold start when everything just goes at once. And I've also heard that with these sitcoms back in the day, some scenes are shot out of sequence, correct?
Yes, yes.
So how
it's
does
not-
that work?
So it's not gonna be like from the beginning to end.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sometimes like the Central Perk scene goes first, and then the Monica's apartment, and then the other scene.
How does that feel as an audience though? Because if you're not following the story in its entirety
Yeah.
like we are when we
Yeah.
watch a show,
Yeah.
does that kind of make
It's
it
a bit
difficult?
weird because but it's like theater, so it's like a quick fire comedy.
Yes.
So we just laugh at the funny
Scenes.
stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the scenes
Right.
that they
Yeah.
laugh at. So when you were there for 4 to 6 hours with them, did you ever get to see these characters as themselves, and what were they like?
The interesting part is the one that is most closest to the characters and
Yes.
friends is Matthew Perry.
Oh, so he's
So
actually almost
he's
like that.
like 99% Chandler, basically.
Really?
You know, I would have guessed that too, out of all of them, because they
Yeah.
all play a certain character where he's just kind of snarky and
Yeah, yeah,
sarcastic.
yeah,
That would be
constantly.
the easiest one to translate into real life, no?
And when I told you that when the scene is not funny and the audience not laughing,
Yeah.
he was the one like, see, it's not funny.
No.
Did I tell you? And then
that would
exactly
be
like
funny.
Chandler.
Wow,
Exactly like
that's
Chandler.
amazing. What was Jennifer Aniston like? She's my favorite
yeah, okay,
character.
all right, good.
And also Ross, David Schwimmer.
Most of them are more like introverts, I guess. Or more like serious, I guess. Not introvert, but like more serious.
Yes, yes, yes.
But like I said, Matthew Perry is the one that is closest to
that is closest to
Chandler.
Oh my
How
gosh.
much did they interact with the audience? Because obviously you want to build a bit of a rapport as well when you have a live audience. What sort of things did they do? Did they communicate with you guys at all, or were they, strictly I'm there to do the tape?
Not a lot with the audience, but
Yeah.
like I said, when the scene is not funny, if it's
Right.
too funny,
Right.
they just feed off the audience just like that.
Wow.
See, that's a totally different thing. Like, if you look at situation comedies today,
Yeah.
if you're filmed, like, it's actually filmed, it's shot like a TV series,
Yeah.
you don't get that interaction anymore. And I think that's what's missing. If you watch sitcoms from back in the day, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s,
Yeah.
it almost sounds corny to hear laughing. Like, it's almost because you don't hear that anymore.
Right,
You're not used to that anymore.
Well, I
but in
can
a
laugh.
way, if you know that that's a live audience, it just brings a certain thing.
It's
You're
really
at the theater,
cool.
you know what it's like to have a live audience.
Absolutely.
It's totally different,
It's
right?
like we take the energy of the audience, you know, the
Exactly.
laughter, sometimes it's not even a laugh, sometimes it's like, ooh, or,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's like,
Yep.
we feel it as an actor, and it's fantastic. It feels fantastic. It feels almost like acknowledgement or validation.
Right.
I remember when Reese Witherspoon,
Yeah.
the first scene, then she came in the door, and everybody was like, you know, clapping for her, and
Yeah.
she got like, I mean, you could tell that she's like that, you know, like,
Taken back by it.
yeah, because she was not used to the theater's experience,
Okay.
Yeah.
so she's like, oh, okay, and then they redid the scene, so
Because she reacted. You're not
Yeah,
yeah,
supposed
because
to
she
react.
reacted, so like, oh, hi, you know.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
So, what sort of things did they like? I know that there are certain parts where they kind of have to give you signals to do certain things. For example, applause, or did they give you any sort of signals along the way as the audience?
Not really, because it's all in the writing. It's all in the writing and the
Yeah.
acting. You just feed off that, and you know, if it's funny, it's really funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember when one scene was too funny,
Yeah.
and we laughed too long.
What was that scene that was too funny? Do you remember?
If you remember that episode with Reese Witherspoon, the Monica was sick,
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
and she was trying to seduce Chandler.
Oh,
but
yes.
Yes. Correct.
She was trying to use that like fluey,
that
coldies voice.
paper up, and
Yes.
it's like, you don't want to get with this, you know?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
everybody just laughed uncontrollably. That scene was like 4 to 6 times.
That's really good.
Because it was too
because
funny.
Matthew Perry was laughing at,
Oh, really?
at Courtney Cox doing that, you know?
So, did that happen a lot? Because I would assume as well in a live setting, especially if you do improv or rewrites,
Yeah.
sometimes they would obviously just laugh at the others just by accident. When you're not
Yes.
supposed to. Did that happen a lot during?
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
And the one person that it's like likes to break character,
Yeah.
Lisa Kudrow.
Oh,
She
really?
just laughs at everything.
Of course.
But you can tell, right? She sometimes smirks.
yeah, she
a little
does.
bit,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's
She does.
holding her laughter.
and that was infectious. So it's like if Phoebe was laughing, Jennifer Aniston cannot handle herself like like that, you know.
A lot have been said about the chemistry between
Yeah.
this ensemble cast, which is actually
It's
what people believe
irreplaceable.
makes this show
Yeah.
work and why it was
Yeah.
such a hit. Did you see that? Like, because obviously
Yes.
we can only see the final product. What did you see? Well,
Yes, very much. I mean, they're like six-headed monster basically.
Wow.
You know, like they
One body with
yeah, it's
6
like
heads.
with they
Wow.
do everything together, and the one thing that I remember was they asked for the same salary for every
Yes,
for
I
yes,
remember.
correct.
$1 million.
And they all took a stance.
Yeah, they all
1
took a
million
stand
per
because
episode.
this is an ensemble cast, so
Yeah.
everybody's doing the same thing. So.
Equally
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, equal.
That was
So
amazing.
there's no 1 star or 2 stars. For
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
And
And that was the one thing about them that it's like, and because of that, they probably like very closely knit until now, until
until now.
today.
Because there was a risk that they weren't going to continue if that
Yes.
wasn't met. And I remember one of the comparisons that was made was because Jerry Seinfeld had been paid $1 million per episode, but he was one guy.
Yeah, yeah,
And now
yeah.
you're talking 6 people,
Yeah.
and were they going to cave in? Were they
Yeah.
going to give? And I remember there was a big
6
standoff.
million.
at the same time. That's
That's
6
6
million,
million.
Per
exactly.
episode.
Yeah.
But they manage it. Do you know what is the net worth of Martha Kaufman? 400 million something.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like she's only one of the writers, right?
Yeah.
And it's like so rightly so that these actors are paid that
Yeah.
much, you know.
Well deserved.
So you're obviously a huge fan, right, Budi, of Friends. And since Friends, there are other sitcoms, you know, that sort of like try to create that sort of like friendship kind of thing. I mean,
Hanging out at a
cafe
or-
or
Or
something. How I Met Your Mother. I'm just gonna name
How I
it.
Met
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
Mother.
yeah. Go ahead.
What do you think? It's like, because I never really get into How I Met Your Mother, because Friends is just up there and you can just never replace. You feel the same?
Exactly, yes.
was.
It's like following up the Beatles. how do you
Yeah.
top the Beatles? Basically, you know,
Yeah.
you have that body of work, you have that, standard,
Yes.
and everything was just pale in comparison.
But what-
That's for me, right?
No, no,
Why
no,
do
no.
you
I
think-
totally agree. High five.
Why do you guys think that is? Is it because of the cast? Is it because of the writing? Is it just a combination of everything? Or is it the timing?
The characters, they're all very different. They're all very interesting. They're all equally strong.
Relatable.
Totally relatable.
You can at least relate with
Yeah,
one
to
of them,
one
right?
person, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can relate to, I don't really like Monica Geller, but it's because she can be a little bit neurotic. But I've actually done one of those Friends quiz.
And you're Monica?
I'm
And you're Monica?
Monica
You're
Geller.
Monica.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And did you go like, I know?
Yeah, I know. So loudly. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Who's your favorite character, by the way?
Chandler.
Chandler.
Oh.
Okay. Is that who you relate to, or is that who you like most? Or is it both?
Both, I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That like one-liners
Quick-witted,
is just
yeah.
like
yeah.
kills me.
I like to think I'm Chandler, but my friends tell me I'm Joey. I was single for a very long time, so that's probably
and,
why.
and you didn't share food.
Yes, that's another. Yeah. Okay, you guys are right.
Oh, you don't share food?
Joey doesn't share food.
Exactly, I remember.
I know this is going to be difficult before, because I'm just going to ask you guys straight out. Favorite episode? I know it's very hard to choose.
Oh, wow.
Episode.
I don't know, maybe the first one, the pilot.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's how we got introduced and how we first fell in love with all of the characters, right?
Yep.
All of them, because they were already developed in their respective characters even then, which I find really amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for you.
Yeah, but I get what Marisa was saying.
Yeah.
In the first episode, it's a pilot,
Yeah.
but everything is like there.
It
Yeah.
was already there.
Yeah, it's like already there, and this is it. This is what we're gonna give to you. This is 6 characters. Go for it.
That makes sense because if I compare it to something that's still running right now, The Simpsons in its 20-something
Oh,
year.
yes.
my.
If you watch the first episode, you'd be like, no, that wasn't The Simpsons yet, because it was still very raw. The characters were completely different.
Yeah.
But you're right, with Friends, it was already all there.
already there.
They looked a bit different, but
A
everything
little
was
bit
kind of there.
different with, like Rachel Green, always with the hair, right?
The Rachel Bob, right?
Exactly, the Rachel Bob. I remember trying to emulate
Did you?
her
Did you cut your hair like that?
Yeah, it failed completely. Different, but Rachel Green is definitely a favorite of mine, and Phoebe.
You
and
could
Ron.
do an early Monica hairstyle. I guess.
Ooh, early Monica hairstyle, cute.
I was going to say, you got the Monica look as well.
Oh man,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
That's not even a word.
that's not even a word. Oh my gosh, she's so annoying. Anyway, that's me.
But anyway, these are my personal collection.
Yes,
Okay,
what
yeah.
is
Too
this?
much, but,
oh my
you
god,
know.
I'm just gonna squat.
By the way, I remember the U.S. Cover because that photo was very iconic because most people, the eye-catching part was obviously the 3 girls, but then when you flip it open, it turned out
The
to be
guys
the guys are there as well. I remember that when it came out because I was still in Canada at the time.
Wow, that's the U.S. magazine, right? What about this one? True Friends, this is the official
That's
TV
kind of like
guidebook.
little trivia book, I guess.
Really? Hang on, let
This
me
is
just see. Move back, move back.
Sorry.
Move back,
This
move
is
back.
an episode guide. This is also episode guides.
Wow.
And that's from the reunion.
Okay, let me ask you guys about that because that People cover, which you can pick up because it's the Friends reunion. I've got mixed reviews from my friends who are big fans of Friends as well about the reunion. What was your take, first of all, Ms. Budi, about the reunion?
Oh, no.
First of all, why James Corden?
Okay, got it.
But I mean, right, it's the same network. So
Okay.
But who could have been your host? I mean, the host that you would have selected.
Conan O'Brien, maybe?
Interesting.
Or
from that generation.
Jimmy Fallon. Or
Okay.
Jimmy Fallon.
How about
But I mean, it's the same network.
How
so-
about you, Marissa?
Oh, Trevor Noah.
What did you think of the reunion? Because some people, I'll tell you what mixed reviews I got. Some people were like, "Oh, great, I get to see them again."
Yeah.
Some people were like, "They should have just let it be because too much time had passed." What did you think?
Oh, for me it was great because they did the table read, right?
Okay.
You
The
remember?
table read
They did the
and
table
a little,
read.
talk show with James Corden.
A little talk show. I actually enjoyed the most was the table read because you could just imagine the thing that they did back then as well.
And you
It was
could
like
feel that when they came into
Yeah.
the
the
studio,
studio again.
like all the memories come flooding back.
Exactly.
You can feel it. I mean, it's not just them, right? So,
Exactly.
I remember that. I remember that. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought that was precious because a talk show is a talk show. You know, it's like, it's a talk show.
Right. You've seen them do that.
Yeah,
before,
but
too.
you've never seen them actually being at a table and reading together, this time about 20 years older, and this time with their glasses and everything, and just like going like that, bantering
They
as
haven't
well.
lost it.
And remember
Yeah.
that David Schwimmer said
Yeah.
that he had a crush on Jennifer Aniston, and vice versa. But they couldn't do anything about it, you know. It's like to ruin the chemistry.
And that's amazing too that they didn't allow that to happen because
Yeah.
of how well things were going. That shows how professional they were.
Yeah, well, thankfully Brad Pitt came in.
Yeah. At the
Yes.
time, anyway.
Exactly. This is amazing. Well, thank you so much, Budi,
Thank
for
you.
sharing your
Oh,
experience.
thank you for having me.
I mean, it's amazing. I've never obviously spoken to someone who actually went to the studio and watched one of the episodes being taped. So lucky of you
Lucky
to have that
you.
Thank you.
experience.
Oh, one more piece of trivia.
Yes.
I'll Be There For You was actually not the first choice for the theme song.
Really?
You know what's the first
What was
choice
it?
from the producer?
No.
Shiny Happy People.
No way.
Shiny,
R.E.M.
happy people.
But REM declined. So
They
didn't-
declined.
Yeah, they declined. They didn't want it, you know, the commercial thing, you know. So
Right.
it's so Michael's type, right? So
Well, then
Yeah.
things kind of worked out the way
Exactly,
everything
yes.
kind of felt.
Absolutely.
everything happened for a reason, and you know the Rembrandts
Perfect.
wrote a great song. So.
It's-
Little did you know you were going to be part of history now, looking back at it.
Hey, my laughter was in that
Yes,
episode.
it will be there forever.
I'm gonna watch it.
The Reese Witherspoon
Today?
episode.
Like
I'm going to try to
wanna
listen to your
get,
voice.
That
you don't want to
one?
get with this, that part.
That part,
That
you don't
part
want to
is-
get with this? Okay, I'm gonna go straight to that part. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Budi.
Thank
Thank you for having me.
Oh.